Well, it's a rainy, kind of stormy day outside. It's the perfect day to go back inside and play with my new herbs that I got. There's some kind of quality I'm really having a hard time verbalizing and pinning down with words. And they do smell fresh and they smell potent, but there's this other quality I'm really having a hard time pinning down. Growing something biodynamic, and this is a certified biodynamic farm, it's not just somebody putting a label on something. It's a whole different level beyond organic. Organic is good. Organic is like a minimum, but there are a lot of loopholes. There are a lot of ways you can get things in through the organic laws that you and I probably wouldn't really want. Thunder. But this biodynamic farm, it's so holistic in its approach. It's not monocropping, just a whole field of calendula. There's companion plants, and they take the whole like ecosystem into account. The plants, the animals, the soil, and treat it like one living thing. And yes, it is very clean. It's this farm where they've come from. It's this pristine area, far away from secondary pollution. Nothing running downstream from a city or a factory. So it's very exciting stuff. And I thought today, let's go ahead and make a couple of things with the red clover. I think I'll just try a tea. Now my thought ahead of time is that this is probably going to be more potent with the same amount of material, or else I could use less and expect the same level of potency as I would have with more. That's my theory. So I think I'll make a red clover infusion and make it kind of on the light side in terms of material, and then with the calendula, I'm going to do sort of a split experiment. I think I'll make a sort of an instant infusion in a blender, and I'll use the liquid. Oh, get out of the way! I'll use the liquid to make a spray. I know one of my kids has some irritation on his arm. I think we'll spray it on that and see if that helps to clear it up. Calendula has some healing properties. It's good for the skin too. And I'll use the leftover pulpy material that I'll strain out, and I will just see who has some other boo-boo that I can stick that on as a poultice. So we'll sort of do a split experiment and use the same herbs in two different applications. Alright, let's give it a try. Okay. The red clover tea has gone long enough, and it's probably still too hot. I'll get a little sip on it. Smells really nice. Oh, something else I wanted to do. I'm going to tell you the truth. I did this before. I did this the other day, but I wanted to sort of recreate it to get it fresh in my mind. But I took just a little bit of the herbs and popped in my mouth. Wow, it is like last time. Wow, that is surprisingly good. I feel like I need more adjectives. I just keep saying, oh, it's good, it's good. That was pretty salty. But you know how sometimes if you buy herbs and dried herbs, if you've ever done this, if you haven't, you can try it, but put just a little bit in your mouth and chew it up just to get the taste with it mixed in your saliva, and you get an overall taste of the plant. I have never had one had this much burst of flavor. It's a whole different level. This is a different experience. It's kind of causing me to reevaluate how I'm thinking about herbs and who I buy them from and how I grow my own. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. The stuff that I grow is not this good. This is a good step above what I can grow. Now, what I can grow myself, that's a good step above what I can buy usually, because I can harvest it when I know that it's ready. I know what I've done to take care of it. I've built up a relationship with the plants. If you believe in that kind of thing, I definitely believe in intention and being mindful in your gardening and wild crafting. And this biodynamic farm, they do that. They grow with intention. I'm a big believer in that. But I'm a lot better at sitting down and typing and rewriting to communicate, so I feel at a loss for words. The pop, the little explosion of flavor and intensity from just that little bit of herbs. Even if you only do it once, you should sample some of these. Get a hold of them, whether you get them from the Grow Network or somewhere else. You should sample some real biodynamically grown herbs. Oh my goodness. Maybe actually, if you're not prepared to go that route, maybe you shouldn't do it, because now that I have tasted them, I am at this dilemma of what do I do now. There's a very pleasant smell. I don't know if I can tip the cup enough to show you. It looks a little on the weak side, but I put not much in. That's legitimately good. It's a little weaker than I would normally fix it, but it's stronger than it would be for the tiny amount of herb that I put in. Another weird thing is I don't actually prefer the taste of red clover normally, and with this I do. So that's weird. Okay. Ooh, with the bigger taste. Oh, mouthfeel. Good sensations. Well, I'm going to wait through the rest of the day and keep using that calendula, but you're going to skip ahead and we'll see if that did anything. It's just one day, so it's probably not going to show a lot, but I hope we can see some kind of difference. Hey, before we jump forward in time, let me also make a little mention of this CBD extract that I got from the Grow Network too. I've tried it before, a different brand that it's been a long time. This one, I think I mentioned before I like the taste of it better. And this is like my third day taking it, so this is still early on. And this is going to be kind of at best, anecdotal evidence, because I'm just one person, and this is not the only thing that I'm using. I do a lot of stuff. But I will say that I have noticed my vision is improving, because I've been working on that as a long-term project, and I have my IQ vision check device that I attach to my phone, and I'll measure my vision progress. And I've been kind of at a plateau for a while, and over the last 3 days I've noticed my score is getting better and better. Now maybe it's this, maybe it's something else, maybe it's a combination. My own suspicion is that my eyes have been ready to make that next leap and that jump back towards clarity, but something has been holding me up, something's been getting in the way, and so my suspicion is that the anti-inflammatory properties or some other property in here has helped me get past that bump, that roadblock, and start moving ahead again. So again, it's anecdotal at best, but that's the experience that I've been having so far, and I wanted to share that with you. Well, it's results time. I took a before and after picture on my 5-year-old son. He had 2 spots. The first one was on his arm near his elbow, where he's got into something. I don't think it's poison ivy, but something that's irritating him. And you can see in the before picture where it's red, and he has a lot of little, bumps and stuff. So this is where I sprayed the calendula infusion on him, and I had him sprayed on himself throughout the day, and he really loved that. And it was only 10 hours, maybe, yeah, around 10 hours that he had for treatment. And at the end of it, even though it was a very short time, you can see a lot of improvement. It's not completely gone, although I wouldn't expect it to be completely gone in that amount of time. But you can see that it's a lot better. The redness has gone away. He stopped scratching at it, which was a big problem before. And even the little bumps seem to have shrunk a little bit. So that's good news. That's good progress. The other experiment was a poultice, which I did with the leftover calendula plant material that I put into a tea bag, and then used Band-Aids to sort of tape it down onto a spot on his foot. Now in the picture there's a scratch. That's not the part that I was really worried about. That's scabbing over, and it's nearly completely healed anyway. There's a little bug bite. We took a survey of all the different boo-boos that the different kids had, and this one seemed like the freshest and most in need of treatment. So we stuck it on there. And this one, it didn't work as well because he's a very active little boy, and it kept getting knocked off, and so I would have to find it and put it back on him during the day. It was also more prone to dry out. I really should have wrapped it with something, but I didn't think that it would work because I figured he would be so active that the wrap would come off, or he would take it off. Even so, there is still some improvement on this. The little dot has almost disappeared. It's still visible. If you look, you can still see it there, but it shrank too. So I'm going to call this a win, and I want to take it even after just, you know, a few hours using it. I think it's a pretty good improvement, a pretty good indication of the potency of these herbs, and I'm happy about it. So there it was. There's my little follow-up evaluation of these herbs. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to have them and to use them. But now I have the terrible dilemma of how do I get more? How do I get enough to keep myself busy with all these herbs? So I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.